Joining us is the leader of the ACT Party, the Associate Education Minister, but also, as of about 15 minutes ago, the Acting Prime Minister, David Seymour. Minister, good morning.
Good morning, Ryan.
Good to have you on the show. Now, a couple of things to talk to you about this morning. We've got the tougher sentences. This is the 3 strikes return coming into force today. But I want to start with the numbers from school attendance. So Term 1 2025, if you're just joining us, regular school attendance, 65.9%. That's an increase of almost 5 percentage points from Term 1 of 2024, which itself was a almost 7% increase on 2023. David, does this mean your approach is actually working?
I think it means that we're coming out of a real low. We had a much higher number, I think about 66 in 2020 and about 70% in 2019. So let's be clear, this is a recovery from COVID. Yes, I would like to think that some of the things that the government's done, publishing more regular data, doing more advertising, lots of messaging from ministers in the government, going and asking mayors to help advocate. There's a huge number of things we're doing before we start up the 140 million of extra attendance service. So we're really throwing everything at this. But let's be honest, 65.9% of students attending regularly means 34.1% of students did not attend regularly last term. And that's why we've got to keep pushing on this. I can't stress it enough. At the end of the day, our society's success will depend on how much knowledge we pass from one generation to the next. And the strongest indicator of that is how many people actually go to school. Because while it's difficult to learn at school, and look, I've got some school reports that prove that, it's impossible if you're not at school.
Do you worry that there's a cohort of kids out there who aren't going to school, haven't listened to the messaging, you know, COVID's over, but they're still not coming regularly? I mean, is there a potential that we hit a wall here?
Well, I just read Jacinda Ardern's book over the weekend, and I don't think she has any idea how much impact the really blunt way she shut down the country and shut down schooling has had on our society. And yes, I am concerned that there are students who were, you know, the ones that the more than half weren't regularly attending back in 2022. They have a lot of catching up to do. And what I'd say is, yes, we got a goal of getting to 80% regular attendance by the end of the decade. I hope that we're going to exceed that.
Yeah, so do I.
It's also true that there's a lot of catch-up to be done.
Hey, 3 strikes comes into force today. For those who are watching this broadcast this morning, how much safer are we going to be? How many? Have you done the numbers? You know, how many assaults won't we have because of this law?
Look, people can model and create numbers like that. I'm always a bit sceptical of them because there's so many other things that change. What we focus on is what we as a government can change. And from today, if you commit a serious violent or sexual offence, there's a list of 46 different offences. If you commit one of those, the first time you get sentenced normally. If you do it again, another sexual or violent offence, you get sentenced normally, but with no parole. So none of this only sitting 1/3 of your sentence. If you do a 3rd strike, then you get the maximum sentence allowable in the Crimes Act with no parole. So what we're saying is that if you're someone who gets out there, you follow the law, you're trying to make the most of your life for yourself and your family and your friends and your community, you deserve to be safe. If you commit a crime, okay, that's bad and you'll be punished. But if you keep offending, we're just going to keep ramping those penalties up because the rights of ordinary New Zealanders to be safe going about their lives goes well above any right you might have to a soft sentence.
All right. You enjoying the job so far, Acting Prime Minister?
Well, I've only been the Acting PM for about
10 minutes?
30 minutes and nothing's gone wrong so far, so yes, it's great.
All right, keep it in check then. Thank you very much for your time this morning. That is the Acting Prime Minister, David Seymour.